Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I am so very happy that you are here with all of us today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, Unify Your Shadow Self into Love. First of all, let's drop in here and speak about what your shadow self is. Your shadow self consists of different energies, parts of yourself that have not been grown. They are underneath the soil, the earth of your being, of what makes you you. And because we live in a world of duality, yes, there is shadow and light. We see the light and the shadow when we take a walk on the beach, for instance, at a particular time of the day. And we see that based upon the angle of the sun and our relationship to the sun, we can walk with our shadow or see it to the side of ourselves. And your shadow self doesn't know what it needs. Your shadow self is in response to being separate from the light within inside of you. So if you could imagine right now that the light is always in you, the light is always shining because our true self, the spark of light, the spark of life that we are, our soul is the essence of God itself. It's right there inside of you. So you don't have to think that you have to create a different life where you meditate more or are thinking a certain way to make things happen. You don't have to do that. What you want to do is pay attention to your focus and what you place your mind upon. Are you thinking negative thoughts? Are you thinking negatively about someone or conversation that you might have had earlier today or yesterday? Something that you are upset about, peeved over. And begin with the moment. Begin your awareness process with exactly how you're showing up in response to what's around you. It doesn't really matter what we proclaim ourselves to be or what we think we are. What's really important is to pay attention to what is. I call it the isness of your being, your be-isness. It's the business of your life. It's how you are navigating, interacting with life itself. So being human means that you have the consciousness within you. It's already built in to your human design, to the grid, the structure, the configuration of your being. You already have that awareness inside of yourself. But when we are unaware, when we are unawakened, we spend more time resisting and following the easy path, the path where there is natural resistance and willfulness and stubbornness. And we develop that based upon how we respond to getting our needs met when we're younger and now, what we think we deserve, what we want but can't have. And if you can begin to allow into your day that you can experience and receive what you really need and what you really want. And as you do that, to pay attention to how you stop it, how you get in the way of the universe, God, infinite source, universal cosmic awareness, your intelligence from bringing you to a higher state, a new place of being. You're not going to reach the levels of enlightening yourself, opening to the light through filling your mind up all day long or in the evenings with escape through your cell phone or your computer. Create boundaries. Create boundaries so that the light relationship, your interaction, your relationship with the light source that's inside of you, that sunshine that exists in you. The sun is always shining. The light is always within you. The light of God is always shining towards you. We can choose whether to shut the door to it or to open it. Power is not abuse. Power is not the misuse of life force energy. Power is not energy over another, and power does not come from shutting down the vital energy system within inside of the body. True power comes through reuniting with the source of power that is the life force energy itself. And that life force energy is neither masculine or feminine, but actually the unification of the two. And we are presently living in the karmic patterns of having to break through the ways that we have shut down from the intuitive wisdom that is only the first doorway. The intuition, your intuition, when it's not connected into your energy system of light and shadow, unified, can give you the false information, the wrong information. So you want to begin to trust your connection with the light. And in the Spirit Gateways Institute, I'm always giving an abundance of Be Light meditations so that you can recalibrate your own energy system into the light within inside of yourself so that you can be self-sourcing. By self-sourcing into the light within yourself, you're able to find your shadow self and understand that your shadow is the part of you that went into hiding because it did not feel safe. So the you that could not speak up to your dad or talk to your mother the way that you really wanted to, or say what you wanted to friends or a teacher, the way that your soul was guiding you, you would push that voice, that power within inside of yourself that eventually grows into anger. Deep within our shadow self is the anger that we hold because we have not felt, seen, received, or heard. And as we unleash that part in ourselves, we have to show up as a divine mother, as the being of love, or the divine father within inside of you. Yes, the divine being of love. Through your actions of showing up with a loving embrace to what has hurt the most inside of you and causes you the most pain, you're able to begin to heal your self, your shadow self. We see in so much media and in the news the acting out of the shadow self. The shadow self filled with anger that turns into hatred because it turns outward. Or we turn it inward and self-destruct through our life choices, through what we eat, who we love, how we hate. by reconnecting into the true power within inside of yourself, not the false power, the true power that only happens through love. So the masculine energy within inside of yourself is actually truly love. It is the shining light. It is emanating and projecting pure power, illumination into you. And when you bring light into you and you sit being you, always in the anticipation of, it is moving, the light is moving. Because the movement brings you into the stillness, the movement of the light flowing into you from above your head and opening now to receive the light in whatever color it shows itself. Remember, white light holds all colors, all spectrum rays of color that are all emanating from the pure white light. There is no color that's better than another. The colors of the white light give you different qualities, and each quality helps to lift up part of you, an energy aspect of yourself that has been stuck in the shadow. When you have enough stuff stuck inside of you, your shadow grows and you can become really depressed and angry. And when you carry a lot of light inside, even now in this time period, we need a lot of support. We need to know that the light that we each are is beautiful and strong and can bring something into this pretty wild, mixed up world and help each other and make the world a better place. And we have to think outside of the box, but first we have to get ourselves out of the box. And the most efficient way that I have found, and if it wasn't, I'd be sharing something different, to get yourself out of the box is through the light shining in you and becoming that light. But you also have to be willing to bring your ego in, which is part of your shadow self, into that light. And for you to be most direct with that part of you who took over your show of life, who wants to be center stage and have you do what it wants you to do, whether you stay quiet, whether you speak up with a voice that supports separation instead of wholeness, but each day to ask the wisdom in you, the higher self that you are, to help you to become more unified. It's through the unification of the pain within inside that is created through hiding in the shadow. Because the opposite of pain is joy. And joy is a natural flow that happens when love is here, real love. And to love, you have to really listen. We are surrounded by news in the media, real life, and really live experiences of having to witness and feel complete denial of the true self and actually glorify the false self, that the false self has the power. And it's up to us, it's up to you to decide that you're going to find that true self within inside of yourself because it's naturally aligned to what's real. And to move forward in this time period on Earth where the energetic grid of life, the earth energies, creation itself, and all the plants and animals that are on this planet, that includes all of us. You know, cheetahs with spots are not better than lions with no spots. And somehow we're able to comprehend that. But when it comes to humans, we allow our own shadow self, our fear, to rule our opinions, our beliefs, and we make up stories. So our stories are made up through fear. We live in our own creations, and that fear happens because we can't find the light. We don't know that there's something more than the despair, sometimes what feels like hell inside of ourself. And we live in the fear of touching into the source power within inside of ourself. And this fear goes back centuries because people who were directly connected to the light were falsely judged. We've lost the ability in this time period to properly discern because we haven't yet discerned what's real and unreal inside of ourselves. So we take on behaviors. Maybe you're the martyr. Maybe you're the savior. Maybe you're the judge. Maybe you are this and maybe you are that. And you fill in the blank. When you see your shadow self, the part of you who's also possibly waiting on the sidelines of your life to come forward, maybe he or she has talents that you don't know about because you've worked hard to become who you just naturally thought you'd be, or perhaps become what you were expected or told you were supposed to be. So in your shadow self are also gifts, and those gifts are precious. And as you unleash that secret desire to write, to paint, to draw, to sing, to compose, to lead, to speak, you open up the shadow self. And in that shadow, all the messages that you've told yourself of what you were supposed to be and not be. And as you pay attention to them and be that loving divine mother, that divine father, and then become that oneness within you, the blend, the wholeness, the unification, the mending, the return to you, you find freedom, that you're not the effect of your habits and your patterns, that you don't have to feed your pain. You don't have to feed the shadow that doesn't know what to do with its own power. Give yourself the opportunity to dream, to move out of your own box, to break free from your own illusion of how things are supposed to be, and give yourself one way, even if it's sitting and talking to a plant, or buying yourself flowers, or writing in your journal what I want to do to come forth. What do I need to listen to in myself? How can I be here? What voice, what message do I need to put aside for right now, either coming from someone else or what I was told growing up, in order to give myself permission to come to the light within myself? It's the light within you that embraces your shadow and is able to, and really truly is able to, transform what has been caught, stuck in the shadow, in the recess in your body, which you'll feel like it's in your consciousness, in your psyche. and to unblock that. This is a pathway of reunion with you. And in the Spirit Gateways Institute programs, they are trainings to return through mastering coming through yourself into being embodied and whole in you so that you can really fulfill what you really came here for, what you're here to do, and to really do it as a whole, in a whole, as and in a whole being that you are. You want to drop into what is wanting to emerge through the shadow self into the love, the light within you. I'd love to invite you into the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village and experience the 21st Century Liberation Roadmap of Spirit Gateways so that you can really, truly discover and embody and be who you are and embrace what this life is really meant to be for you. I want to thank you for joining all of us. And I would love to work with you and see you truly prosper and move through the barriers that you came into this lifetime with so that you can really set yourself free. Sending you love. Until next time, this is Ayana Lihi.